So, of course, the idea about composition is that very often people, almost always, people go by the subject, thinking that, let's say, depiction of roses is a good painting because it's nice, it's cute, it's that. But that doesn't make it a good painting. What makes it, let's say, a crucifixion is a horror in the sense of what is depicted, okay? And yet, it's a great painting. So there's a big difference between cute, na maganda, na decorative, and another is a great piece of art. Roses can be great art too, but it's not the subject itself. If you learn about composition, which I'll try to explain as far as I can convey to you, there is this thing about how things are put together. This is what composition can be, must be achieved. Yes, elements of good composition, of course, is in the contrast, in the rhythms, in the intensity, in the tone, in the color, in the division, the shapes, and interlinkages. Very simple rules apply. That anything you put that is leaning towards the corners, the four corners, we'll get, oh yes, the basic thing is to keep the eye interested within the painting, okay? We have no zooms, we have no spotlights, we don't have anything, we have just the painting, and it's a two-dimensional painting, and that's it. So we have to use these things, and the ancients have used it for centuries, and all art in the whole world have to follow that. Otherwise, the eye goes away and it's not interested. Okay. Another thing is also even diagonals, dividing exactly spaces, the main spaces. Also, that's wrong. Or you see, these are the same size. Also, that it brings the eye out. What amateurs do very much is, let's say this is a mountain, this is a mountain, and then the clouds seem to be afraid of the mountain. You know, they don't hit it. That's very amateurish, because, or a house and trees, the tree will go around the house, you know, and so immediately you can spot a bad painting by that sense. Okay, let's see how these parallels here, how strong they are, and then they recede. They recede, and you practically only see her face, and everything else is roundness, and she's in black, not by chance. It's really, this is planned to the very smallest inch. They don't want to tell us a story. Her face, or this, or where she belongs, or what race. No, we don't care. It's this that really points out there. And there you go. Your eye may want. But you see, this is not pointing here at this corner. It's slightly before. Here it's sunk. It could be leading your eye away, but it's half sunk. So you don't have the whole foot. And all these things are beautifully, then all the thing in the back that gives it movement. And I think it's very successful. Shoes from Italy. It's not a brand. It's not a brand, but it is shoes of Italy. So they want to evoke what Italy is best known for is, of course, music. So you have these soft, rounded masses pointing there, because when you've gone around, your biggest and strongest contrast is between the black of the shoe and the white of the paper. Well, this is something else, but again, it's a circle. You'll notice that this is not equidistance. See? They could have put it exactly there. They would be less interesting. This leads your eye down, in case you want. Then there's this that cuts in case you want it to go out. This goes in, and it does not stop. It's not equidistant. So then you have, again, this circle is cut off here. And then you go like this. You cannot help it. And you cannot help it. Prescriptive. That's really irresistible. At that distance, you maybe don't see it, but there's a tiny, tiny horseman here with a little horse here. Okay, in the magazine, of course, you see it very close, but here. But the color changes a bit here, yes, it does. But it's a very bright orange and simple, but so strong. It's telling you about the outdoors and how healthy it is to smoke, right? Is it good to smoke? Yes, the advertising says so. And the little horse, the tray became so small from smoking, see? Of course, the head is not complete. That is also one of the elements. It's cut off almost here, and there's the dark elements here. And this makes your eye go around, this hair. This hair could be flying away, but it's not. It's in here. And the advertising, the letter is here. All these hairs are, because they are cropped, they are repeated. This is not just one snapshot, it's one of 100 or 200. How effective this is, but then again, the head of the person is cut away almost completely. So you have this drop that is seen a mile off, a mile away, and it's an advertisement of water. I don't like it too much because this is already a bit washed out. Why not? But then if it removes the message, we don't know who, what, where. You know, that's and if you have 1 second to look into it, you're not seeing it. How can I dare even mention that but I find, for instance, this tangent here, it draws too much attention. But maybe it was glazed over, and it was not seen. And in retouching them, when they get old, then but the way it is, my eye goes a lot to that thing. Then. That's, I cannot help it. And I think, no, a man who can do this didn't do that. Glazing is, let's say, oil with some color. Then you, like as if it were watercolor, so then you make a veil. Wherever you want to think push away or so, you make a veil over it, and then it would, I'm sure this was less important because glazed over and moved back. But it comes forward too much. Otherwise, you see how these disappear, and this, how beautiful these things. Oh, it's a beautiful painting, really. Here you have the same thing about composition, how it's not 100%, 50-50. Nothing is the same on both sides. It's never the same. And all the figures are facing in. See how they are facing in here. And this subtle ideas about composition. Here, of course, this saint is floating away into the arms of the angels. And I really just, Giotto is a great, wonderful painter. Again, see how they are all facing in the middle. To illustrate, the only whole figure here is Judas. I mean, because that's the traitor. This will bring the, if it came out, this brings it back in, and all this movement here to accompany the movement here, meaning that there was some kind of turmoil. The perfection of the composition is the same thing about how beautifully put together. The king and queen are here reflected in the mirror, and I can't remember who he is, this one here. Well, anyway, these are the little princesses, the daughters of the king, and her playmates and all that. But again, facing this way. Even the dog is facing in, you see? And here is Velasquez himself painting. And I said, how come there are no reds at all in this painting? Just a thought about composition. So then I said, yes, there are reds. This little boy here, this page, this is a red trousers. Then these are red, I'm sorry we don't have the details, red ribbons. And the red ribbons. And then I said, why does it go that way? Oh, it's a dot, 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 meron pa rito, nada. And then there is the palette of himself, of Velázquez. Palette here with some reds. And then the message is that if you saw it from close by, you'll see he has a cross, something like being a national artist. It is the cross of Calatrava. So the whole painting secretly is talking to us about himself. No? And it was so, I get goosebumps now thinking that he was talking to me. Nobody else had noticed it before. Vermeer is a absolute master, like Velázquez, of composition. You cannot imagine what science, what intelligence, what, really, and the proportions and everything. Okay, let's say how this brings your eye in. Really, you cannot help but go this way. This is not a complete triangle or square. It's part of it, so it catches less. Anything you divide, of course, it's obvious that it divided in two, it has half attention. So even this, your eye, you don't have the whole window. You just everything is cut into small sections so that you'll have the full woman here. Having said what I've said about composition, one day again I was face to face with Goya at the Prado in Madrid, and I say, how come he's breaking every damn bit of my theories and everybody else's theories about composition? Because he's facing away, he's facing out, he's half broken, everything, you know, just not right. But why? Why? Because it turns out to be everything is painted very hurriedly, very fast, very spontaneously. And there is one detail that is not in the middle of this, because everybody is afraid of, let's say it's the pest, or it's a danger, it's a terrible danger. So he represents great danger. All these people are running away, except a donkey here. We have a blow up of this donkey here. In the middle of all this, people are screaming away and running away. In some ways it says that if you are ignorant, you cannot see danger. I only have praise for this painting, of course, except that this, it breaks some of the things I said, but still the fact that it's counterbalanced by the emptiness here, it's, okay, I love it really. You know. Yes, well, this is a very beautiful one, of course. But again, you see how this goes in the back. No, they use the same rules as advertising, really, the same, or advertising the same rules as they use. All these things are not by chance. Everything is very well studied and very well felt.
Mr. Sanso is probably one of the foremost expressionist artists. And what makes his paintings work is that these are really paintings from his own internal soul. His dark period, during his paintings were affected by the war, but he was very successful in expressing that. He made no bones about hiding his feelings about that dark period. From the 60s to the early 80s, I would describe that as his tranquil period. You know, his paintings were calmer, soothing. They were very introspective, but you can really feel the tranquility and you can feel the calmness in the paintings. From the mid-80s, going further to today, he suddenly found a certain internal peace, an internal joy. So one could describe the third phase of Mr. Sanso as the joyous phase. The colors are jumping. They're pumping. They're jumping out at you. The reds, the blues, the oranges, the yellows. You know, and you can. It's almost like it's singing a concerto, a happy concerto. The thing is that people immediately can feel the painting. That's what's good about the Sanso. When you see it, pow, it hits you. Whether it's that dark period, tranquil period, or the joyous period, immediately you get a feeling. And those are the paintings that are fantastic paintings.